So when planning for your wedding, finding the perfect wedding cake can be a recipe for disaster.
There was a table that was decorated by the decorator, and once we put our cake on it, a few seconds after, the table got broken and the cake fell.
If the cake fell down, what am I going to do? What is the baker going to do? Will it be a beautiful cake or will it just be a bland cake? And what about the budget? How much is it really going to cost me?
For me, at this level in my career, it's not so much about the money, but it's also making your special day even more special.
With me today on your Perfect Wedding podcast, we are talking with Vicky, the incredible Vicky from Vicky's Cakes.
So when I started Vicky's Cakes, I went to cake school in Nigeria.
She has done so many weddings that she cannot even remember how many she has done. Well,
for 11 years, that's a long time.
She has over a decade of experience, and Vicky's Cakes are almost too beautiful to eat. Well, almost.
You kind of usually say you get what you pay for.
You cannot be going for the cheapest person for your wedding.
Yeah.
You see, sometimes you go on the internet and you see what I ordered versus what I've got. And then you are blaming the baker. But you didn't do your homework.
We talk insider tips for brides and Vicky's own journey to becoming one of the most sought after bakers in the business in Yaoundé.
Are there any mistakes that you would like to highlight which brides usually do while looking for someone for the cake?
The very first thing that you should bear in mind before trying to contact someone for your wedding cake is...
So let's get into it.
It's black and white. It's black and white.
Welcome, Vicky.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for accepting our invitation and coming to see us and talk to your people.
Thank you for inviting
me. So, but
me.
before, maybe we'll know a little bit about Vicky, but tell us in your own words, who is Vicky?
Okay, my name is Victorine Atta, and I'm the creative person behind the brand Vicky's Cakes. And Vicky's Cakes has been in operation since the year 2013. So this is like 11 years today. And we're based in Yaoundé, but we've also done events out of Yaoundé.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah, so we are talking a lot about weddings today, and you specialize in wedding cakes, right?
Yeah, sure, we do.
Yeah. What types of wedding cakes do you guys actually do? Is there like a range of wedding cakes that you guys do?
No, the thing is, weddings are actually some very special events, and it actually depends on the couple. There are people who are getting married and they'll tell you, my wedding has 50 guests, and so you're doing a small cake. So there's no range. It depends on what the couple wants. There are people who are doing weddings for 1,000 people, and so you have to go overboard with their cake. So there's no range per se.
So really, to really get into the crux of it, so what should couples be expecting when they're coming to when they're coming to ask you for a wedding cake?
The very first thing I would say is that you're going to have quality at the best price. That's the first thing. Because for me, at this level in my career, it's not so much about the money, but it's also just making your special day even more special. So the very first thing is that I think we're very affordable and we are reliable, and you're sure that when you hire Vicky's Cakes, you're getting quality for your money.
Yeah, when you say reliable, what does that mean exactly?
Reliable because, weddings are some very, very crazy events. I'm sure you should know that.
Yeah.
Sometimes some things go wrong. You want to be sure that when you're hiring someone to do your wedding cake, if something goes wrong, that person is going to try to fix it. I'll give you an example. I did a wedding cake some years back, and when we got to the hall, there was a table that was decorated by the decorator. And once we put our cake on it, a few seconds after, the table got broken and the cake fell.
Oh boy.
That was around 7 p.m. and the wedding was supposed to start around 10 p.m. Now, I could have said to the bride that it's not my business. It's not my table. You are the one who bought your decorator. No, I took the cake back to the shop. We peeled off the cakes. We made a brand new cake, and we got back to the hall around 11 p.m. When we got there, the couple was just about to come into the hall, and we mounted the cake and everything went well. So you should be reliable. You don't just take the money and then whatever happens. No. Even those who have bought from me, even just a birthday cake, if your birthday cake gets to you broken and you call me and there's time, I'll say, bring it back and we'll fix it for free and give it back to you.
Wow. I guess that is one of the very unique things about your business,
I guess so.
The reliability and probably the professionalism which is accompanied by that. What other thing would you say is unique about your business?
I think what's unique about our business right now is that we cater for both francophones and anglophones. You know, when I started Vicky's Cakes, I went to cake school in Nigeria. So I was used to just doing cakes that anglophones like. And so when I was working for francophones, they'll be like, I love the cake. The outer part is beautiful, but I don't like the cake inside because we come from we have two different cultures.
Yeah.
They like what we call genoise, you know, the soft cakes.
Yeah.
And then we anglophones, we are not used to it. So over the years, I've had to hire someone who is a specialist in the French francophone kind of cake. So when you come to us now, we are sure that we're giving you exactly what you want to eat on your wedding.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I kind of gobble down everything. So I never even really noticed the differences between the cakes. But,
No, they're different.
But now that you say that, I remember in most francophone cases, they used to call it pièce montée. Every time they're like, on sort la pièce montée, we are bringing out a pièce montée. I'm like, what is pièce montée? And then I think it's very creamy.
Yes.
And then for most of our Anglophone weddings, you want to come to the hall.
The cake is already in the hall. That's
and
it.
it's everything. So
And that's also because the francophone cake a lot of times can melt. So they need to keep it in the fridge until it's time to cut it. But my patissier is so good that our cake can actually stay in the room there and never melt.
wow.
Yeah.
Hey people, I wanted to take a brief break from this conversation and I hope you're enjoying it just as much as I am. And there are two things I wanted to talk about. Firstly, did you know that 99% of the people that are watching this podcast on YouTube are not subscribed? Which is a high chance that you who is watching right now is not subscribed. But first, I really want to thank you, first of all, for watching the podcast in the first place. And number two, guys, hit the subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button, man. And it's going to be really, really amazing. The second thing is if you're a bride or a groom preparing your wedding and still looking for a team of professional photographers and videographers to cover your special day, I would like to encourage you to give us a call and let us have a chat. The Chapnik Pictures team here has over a decade of experience capturing from very intimate weddings to large and very chaotic ones. I'll make sure to put a link in the description so you can contact us on WhatsApp so we can have a chat, see if we are a good fit for each other. Now, let's get back into that conversation.
Talking about brides as well, are there any mistakes that you would like to highlight which brides usually do before they get into while looking for someone for their cake?
The very first thing that you should bear in mind before trying to contact someone for your wedding cake is you first of all have to know the theme of your wedding. We've done a wedding cake for a client once who was supposed to partake in this competition, Quatre Mariages pour une lune de miel. You know that competition?
Yeah.
And when she came to me, she told me that her wedding theme is 1980s. So she doesn't want a cake that's modern. She wants a cake that's reflecting old age, you know, olden days. And so we gave her just what, and she actually won the competition, I must emphasize.
Wow.
So we gave her a cake that reflected her theme. Before you go to a baker for a wedding cake, decide on your theme. What's my wedding? And now some people don't have wedding themes, but what is my style? Am I a simple person? Am I somebody who likes over the board stuff? You should have at least a theme in mind or a style of cake. And then the next thing is that you should not contact a baker at the last minute. There are cakes that you need about 2 months to prepare for. There are cakes that you have to order certain things out of the country to use for the cake. So you don't come, you're getting married on Saturday, you come on Monday, you want a cake.
Yeah.
We can do it, we have done it many times, but we are not as prepared as someone who came early. And then another thing I would say is, as a potential client or as a bride, you should not hire a wedding cake designer without having seen what they have done. Sometimes we're just emotional, sometimes we just want what the cheapest person. You cannot be going for the cheapest person for your wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Because, it's a very special day and you're not planning to marry again. So just do it and do it well. Take your time, go through the person's work, see what they have done and see if their skill level is good enough for what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
You see, sometimes you go on the internet and you see what I ordered versus what I've got. And then you're blaming the baker. But you didn't do your homework. That's the truth.
Well, in fact, like in our sector, in the photography and wedding photography, we kind of usually say you get what you pay for.
Okay.
And if you are getting into the market just looking for the cheapest option, well, you are going to get what the cheapest option gets you.
That's true.
Well, we also want to think that since it's the one time in your life that you are going to be doing that, you want to be looking for what is going to give you the most value, right?
Mm-hmm.
And who is going to be even looking at price as well. But with office, you say you're actually...
I'm affordable.
You're affordable.
I'm not cheap, but I'm affordable. For the quality of what I give you, yes, I'm pretty affordable. But you know the thing about price, I think I have seen people who are getting married in banquet halls that cost about 3 million just for the hall. But when it comes to their cake, they want to pay 50,000, they want to pay 100,000. So it's not really about the money. Sometimes it's just how much you value what you want to get from that baker.
Yeah.
So people actually have the money, but to them, they don't see any reason why they should pay some hundreds of thousands for a cake. You understand? So, I mean, it's for me, I think it's your special day and you should be getting the best.
For sure, for
So
sure.
I think-
So how do you, because I'm sure you have worked with, how many weddings have you actually done? Can you even remember how many?
I cannot remember, sorry.
Right. Well, for sure, we know that you have done, if she has done so many weddings that she cannot even remember how many she has done. Well,
For 11 years, I mean, that's a long time.
she has, well, we are going to come a little bit to the story of how you really got into it. She has been doing it for 11 years and so well, so that means that you kind of know a thing or two. Maybe you should take what she's saying as gospel truth. So, but I'm sure you have also dealt with a lot of clients in this. So how do you kind of deal with the difficult clients, with the ones that really, I think recently there was one client who was kind of making bills online. They were calling her the sepia bride for photography. She kind of took photos from, she hired a photographer who does something which looks sepia, but when the photographer delivered what she has in her portfolio and everything, she came back and she was blasting her on the internet, saying that she took some of her pictures and put her own thing there and it was fine and whatever. But I'm sure that they are like, with cakes and everything, there's like brides who know it all, or their family members or stuff who are kind of know it all. So how do you actually deal with that?
To be honest with you, for my business, I first of all do not talk directly to my clients. I hardly do. I have 2 of my staff who have as their job to talk to clients. So I personally do not talk to clients, but I would hear, they would tell me, madam, this one said this one said that, and I'll tell them what to say. Because you who owns the business, you tend to be emotional. I know how much I've suffered to be where I am today. My clients, my workers don't care now. They're always just to come and make the cake and go and to work and go. So they'll be more patient than I am over certain things. But the thing I want to say is that there are 2 kinds of clients. There are the clients who know what they want and the clients who just want a cake. Now, for the clients who know what they want, it's always safest to invite them for a cake tasting. So we make different flavors of cake. You come over with your closest family, you eat, and then you choose what you would like to have. So on that day, you are having exactly what you wanted, and there is no problem. Now, the other clients will just say, hey, Vicky, just make a cake here. I just want a cake. And those ones now, we're going to choose our favorite flavors and put them in your cake.
All right.
So I don't think it's safe for you to just do a cake without knowing what that person would like to have. Yeah.
All right. I think that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. But now for clients who, okay, say a client wanted to kind of hire somebody to make the cake and everything, and they have like options. They are looking at one person versus the other. So what should they be looking for in, say, the structure that they want them to make their cake? What should these people actually...
I understand what you're trying to say. To be honest with you, what I would say is I don't think it's a good idea for you to have cake baker A, B, C, D, and you're talking with everybody to choose the person you're going to work with. Because most times when you do that, because you're trying to get the cheapest person, you are getting married. You're not looking for the cheapest baker. You're looking for the baker that will give you the cake of your dreams. So if I were to get married now, and I was not a baker, what I'll start by doing is I will identify maybe 4 bakers in Yaoundé who are doing a good job. I'll write to the first person, just that first person first, and talk with the person and look at the person's work. Maybe book a cake tasting session, and if I'm satisfied, I book the person. I don't see the reason why you want to go up and down from pillar to post. For me, I would not advise that, because you may end up being confused and you may end up choosing someone just because they're cheap. And I tell you, you're not. I mean, you're on social media. You see on Instagram, they'll put a cake. Somebody will write, "This is what I ordered versus what I got." Why? Because you are looking for the cheapest person. So my point, what I'm trying to say actually is this: before you even write to a baker to ask about the wedding cake, first go to the person's official pages, look at what they've done. Maybe ask a person or two. In fact, for me, even I think if you have been working with a baker before, like you have been taking birthday cakes from someone and you are satisfied with your work, just go with them.
Yeah, but I think like for somebody who is probably completely new in
New.
this thing, because you know sometimes when you get familiar with somebody and you already know how that person works, then that's great. You can just go to that person and you know the person's quirks, you know how reliable the people are.
Yeah.
But for somebody who is probably, that is the first time they're going to be getting married, hopefully.
Yeah.
So maybe it's their first time getting married and they really don't know anything about cakes.
Okay, then in that case, go on social media, do a search, Cakes Yaoundé, cakes come up, you look at the pages. The one that, catches your attention, you love what you're seeing, you write the person, ask the person, what kind of cakes do you offer for weddings, for example? The person will give you a list of cakes. Can I get to taste a cake? Yes. You book a tasting session, you taste, you explain to the person your vision for your day, and if you can, come to a compromise, then work with the person. If you like what you taste, work with the person.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. Go through the portfolio, probably speak to the people as well. Maybe even just to get like their general vibe, right?
Yeah.
And maybe kind of evaluate for yourself how reliable they are.
Yeah.
And if they have worked with somebody before,
That you even know.
that you know,
Yeah.
get to them, ask for reviews and stuff. I think there's even one thing that I do. I don't know if you do it as well. I usually ask for reviews from my clients, from the previous clients that I get.
Okay.
I ask them to give reviews to put either on my Google page or on my Facebook page or wherever. So that at least when you're getting to something, you know exactly what you're getting into. You don't want to
I understand.
you don't want to come and get something and then you are like, this is not what I thought it was.
Yeah.
At least maybe when you get that.
The thing is, since my stuff is something that's edible, a lot of times I get my review instantly. Like when you give a cake to someone, by the next day, she'll just want to say, oh, le gâteau était très bon. Oh, I gave your number to my sisters. People ask for your numbers. You get the review almost instantly. And I want to say something to the bakers who are going to watch this. Do not be discouraged if you get a bad review. We are doing something that is very, very subjective. It's just like food. Let's talk about eru. That people will tell you that if my eru is not swimming in oil, I don't like it. And then someone says, no, I just want small oil. So that means that the problem is sometimes it's not you. The problem is just that the person's preference is not really what you gave them. It has happened to me in the past where I did a cake. Maybe on the same day we did 4 cakes. And then we use the same mixture for all the cakes. And 3 people are so happy and then 1 person complains. Now you as a baker, what do you do? Don't get frustrated by the review. Ask the person, what did you want? I have honestly given people free cakes after getting a complaint. Sometimes the problem came from the person that took the command in my business. Do not ask the person what type of cake you wanted inside. And so now this francophone girl tell you, it was beautiful, but what was inside is not what I wanted. Then I understand her problem. She wanted a very creamy cake. I just make one and offer to the client just to keep the relationship and for the sake of peace. Yeah.
All right. Now, well, maybe this is for someone who wants to work with Vicky. How does that happen? When, somebody wants a wedding cake from Vicky. What does that process look like?
Okay, the very first thing is we're going to ask you if you already have a cake that you have chosen. If you don't have, we're going to propose you different cakes according to your budget.
I went to your catalog, your catalog on your WhatsApp number, and I see lists. There's a long list of cakes. In fact, when somebody just goes through that catalog, they just know that it's a pro.
That list is not even long enough. If we have to put all our pictures, WhatsApp will surely crash. We have, like on my official pages, Facebook, Instagram, I cannot put all the cakes. The cakes that I've done one cake 30 times. I will not be posting that same cake over and over. So the first people who ordered for it, their cakes will feature on Facebook. The rest of the people, it will just remain on WhatsApp and then we'll end it there.
All right. So the first thing is they get to you. How they get to you? What's the main source through which they get to you? Is it WhatsApp?
It's mostly WhatsApp.
Yeah. So they get to you through WhatsApp. Then what goes on next?
So we ask you the date of your wedding, the location, the time you want the cake to be, because it's very important that people who are getting married are in the afternoon. They want their cake by noon. Some people tell you, bring my cake at 1 a.m. So we need to know that. We need to choose the kind of cake you want. That's, are you going for the Anglophone kind of cake or the Francophone kind of cake? Give us your wedding colors. We need to have someone in your entourage that's going to be in charge of your cake. So when we come on your wedding day, we're not trying to reach you. We don't need to talk to you. We work with that person, make sure that everything is set up right. That's basically it. And then if you want to have a cake tasting, we book a date, we break the different flavors, you come around, you taste, and then you choose.
So cake tasting really is on the client's demand. If the client's demand to have a cake tasting,
Yes.
it's not like...
No, it's not compulsion, it's not free. Sometimes some people tell me that, no, I thought it cannot be free now because the ingredients are not free. You have to pay for it. That's true. It's not free, but it's not expensive. You're just paying basically for the ingredients that we use.
All right.
Yes.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. If you want to taste your wedding cake before your wedding.
Yes, you're going to. It's not expensive. It's like 1,000 francs per flavor.
Right.
So we're going to give you vanilla 1,000, strawberry 1,000, coconut, whatever we're doing 1,000. It's pretty cheap.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now that we are even talking about price, and you said that you're affordable now, how much?
You know, affordable is relative.
Uh-huh.
There are some people that are ostentatious. There are people that if they come to you and you say that something is 100,000, they just know you don't know anything. There are people that don't want to hear big money. They want to hear that this cake is 1 million. They begin to feel that your skill level is up to their expectations. So what I'm trying to say is this: I have done wedding cakes for 50,000. I have done wedding cakes for 1 million. The only thing is that you should be realistic with your amount.
Yeah.
Don't come with 100,000 and want me to do a cake for 800,000.
Yeah.
Whatever your budget is, we can always work around your budget. Yes. So I can't give you a price. It just depends on the client.
All right. So, at least what you should be sure of is that you need to have a budget. You come with your budget, and you will get something that reflects your budget.
Don't hope to have above your budget. That's when we're going to have a problem.
All right.
Yeah.
So now we have heard a lot about how this how your business works and all the uniqueness about your business, how you work with your clients and everything. But somebody will be asking, but who's this Vicky self? Why should I listen to Vicky? She knows about how much. Even yes, I said that she has done many weddings and so. But how did she really get into this thing? How did Vicky get into cakes and all?
Okay. I got into cakes out of curiosity. Let me put it like that, because in the year 2012, I got married, and after my wedding, the woman who did my wedding cake did a good job, and I was just curious. I was idle. I just went to her. I said, "Mommy, teach me how to make cake," and that's when I took my first cake class. And after that class, I just discovered I was just in love with the craft. And after that, I went to Nigeria. I went to mix and bake confectionaries. I did a complete course in cake making, and I graduated with a PME Masters in cake making. And so when you're coming to me for cake, I'm not making trial and error. I know what I'm doing. Okay, and the PME course is actually a UK course.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so but there's this lady in Nigeria who has accreditation to offer the course. So when you do your training with her, then UK now sends your certificate. And after that, I went back to Nigeria. I did a course with another brand. They call it Exotic Cakes. I learned stuff, and I've taken so many trainings online, because that's what the younger bakers need to understand. You cannot. The world is evolving, and every day new techniques are coming. What they taught me in 2013. No, I went to Nigeria in 2014. I'm not even actually using that same recipe today. I change my cake recipes almost yearly. I take courses all the time, because you have to just ameliorate yourself.
Yeah.
Somebody who bought from you 5 years ago should not come today and have the same taste that they got 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the initial course that you did, how long was the course actually?
It was a month. It's a month
course.
and it's an intensive course. Yes.
No, you even talked about the younger ones, and I'm sure you're not the one who does all your cakes, and you have even mentioned here a few times about those who work in your business. Before you wanted to come, she was like, I need to get to the office, or I don't know whether you call it the office or
the production.
the kitchen.
We call it the production, yes.
Yes, you get to the production and make sure that everything is
We'll set up the day, yes.
is setting up before
I can come,
before you can come. So, and I'm guessing most people who work for you, how do they get? Is it were you the one who train them, or do you do training, or how does that work?
Okay, I have 6 staff, and everybody's story is unique. I have my main pâtissier who has before coming to me had worked for 8 years in bakeries. Most of these big bakeries you see around, he's worked there. So he came already knowing everything in the francophone kind of, you know. So he came and he learned the English kind of cake from me. I have another staff who, before he came to me, he was working from some other baker. I have some of them that I trained, and then I have some that came not knowing anything and learned everything from me.
So is there a way that someone can actually get training from you, like a younger person who is wanting to get into the craft?
Yes, we do trainings all the time. We do, yeah.
So, how much is training? When is the next cohort?
Okay, let me say, when you say how much is training, our training is averagely 300,000. And there's no next time. The next time is when you want to do it. Okay. So if you tell me that you want to start training on Monday, okay, I'll put you in my day. I fix the program and we start. So I can actually do a one-on-one training with you. If you're two of you, I'll do the two of you. If you're alone, yeah.
Oh, well.
Yes.
But I guess I'll probably have something for you maybe after, behind the cameras.
All right.
Yeah.
And the thing that's unique about our cake training is this. You know, I've gone around learning cakes in 1 or 2 places, and this is what I noticed. It's not everybody that you go to go and learn cake that will teach you what they're using for their cakes. So some bakers actually have 2 different recipes. When you come for training, they teach you that one. When they're doing their own cake now, they'll do the special recipe. Yes, people do that. And you cannot, I'm not blaming anybody, I'm not criticizing, but in my shop, this is what we do. When you come for training, you work with my workers, meaning what? If a cake comes for a client, you enter the kitchen with them, you do it. So we are giving you exactly, when you learn cakes from Vicky's Cakes, and you go and make a cake, it tastes the same as what we are doing at the moment. Except that maybe after a year or so, we have changed our recipe. Now you'll be having your own recipe. But we don't hide anything from you. We would show you everything that we know. We would even show you vendors, where to buy what, and just to make sure that you are starting the business and it's not very difficult for you.
Funny enough, I thought that was the case only probably in the photography world, because I was very surprised sometimes. There was this young guy who is learning from me now, and he's saying that he was learning from some other guy, but it's almost as if they just set things and give you, and they're not really teaching you certain
the
things,
basics
for you to actually develop on that. Because I guess I don't know why people do that.
No, but I think it's just being egoistic, honestly, because you decide either you want to train or you don't want to train. If you don't want to give out your recipe, when they come to you, say, no, I don't train. It's your right, you must not train. But if somebody is coming for training, please just teach them well. That's what I think.
So any advice for maybe those who want to get into the profession? I was on CRTV the other day, they asked me, is photography bankable? Is cake making bankable?
To be honest with you, I would say that for someone who wants to do cakes right now, yes, it's bankable. You can make a lot of money from cakes. Cakes, everything that I have, I think came from Vicky's Cakes, let me be honest. But the thing is, what people don't understand is that the amount of hard work that this business demands. You see me, I have never celebrated Valentine's Day. I have never celebrated Christmas. I have never celebrated New Year. All those special days that everybody's with their family, I have never celebrated them, because on those days, I need to satisfy my clients. If you're someone that you're lazy, you don't want to work hard, don't worry, don't even waste your time to go and pay the fees to start the class, just stay. It's a lot of hard work. There was a time I went to work on a Wednesday, I came back on Saturday. Yes. I left my house on Wednesday. My son asked my mother, say, why is my mother not coming back to the house? My mother called me and said, Ma, come house. I'm serious. And I came back home. I was sleeping because that time I had a bakery at Acacia. My bakery had an office, and in my office I had a bed there. And my mattress, when I get tired, I just put it on the floor, I sleep. I slept in my office Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I came back home on Saturday. It's a lot, and people don't understand. It's a lot of hard work. Because it takes about 8 hours to make one cake. Now, the days where we do 8 cakes in one day, you now understand that if you have to look at the calendar, the clock, the 24 hours is not enough to fill that day for us. But now we've found ways to, cut the work in processes to be able to fit everything and be able to deliver. It's a lot of hard work. If you want to get into this business, there are people who have come to me to come and learn cakes. I've taught them, and they went and after they left the class, they have never made one cake. Because it's in the class that they came and discovered that it's so hard. It's not easy. It's something that, if you're not a hardworking person, let me say it again, don't even worry yourself. And I'm not a lazy person, but look at, I have 6 people helping me. Why do I have? Do you think I just want to be paying salaries? No, it's because the work is too much. And I've had this issue over the years where people want to do everything with me. Somebody wants meat pie, we'll call Vicky. No, you have to be the one to make the meat pie. Somebody wants to talk on the phone. Once you call, is this Vicky? No, I want to talk to Vicky. And that time you want to talk to me, maybe I'm on a cake. You know the thing about cake making? Cake making, you need a spirit behind the business. You cannot do cake making just like that. Either the Holy Ghost is behind that business or some other spirit. See, there are days that there's a cake that you have been doing. You have done that cake 30 times and one day you make that cake, doesn't come out. You decorate the cake, it doesn't come out. You peel it, you redo it. You do one cake 3 times. And then the client's time is, let's say it's 2 o'clock and then it's 1:30, you're still struggling, the cake is not coming out, you want it to come out. You are under pressure. And then somebody is now calling and wants to only talk to you. There is somebody that's in charge of talking on the phone. Just go with the person. You understand?
Yeah.
I will not leave that cake that's frustrating me to come and answer your call.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, and sometimes clients don't really understand. They just think that people will just call. Someone will just call me in the morning. Vicky, I want a cake at 2 p.m. Okay, I say, what cake? Okay, I want a cake for my husband. My husband is a lawyer, so I want you to mold a man wearing a lawyer's wig. Do you know what it takes to make that thing? It's about 3 days to make that thing to come out. Yes, I'm serious. To mold a human on a cake, you need like 3 days to make it for it to get dry, to put the parts together and everything. And then somebody just come and say, I want it at 2 o'clock. It's a lot of work, and we need, sometimes clients need to know there are some cakes that are easy to go. We can just do, papa, and give you. But you know those artistic cakes, we need time. So it's a difficult business. Let me see me put it like that. But there's a lot of money to be made in it.
All right. So I guess for those who are getting into it, you have to tie your skin very well.
Yeah.
You need to know that it's a lot of work that you have to put in up front. But if you put in that work, there's a lot more.
There's a lot of money to be made. Yeah.
There's a lot of money to be made, and for clients as well. There's a reason why you have processes, why they are doing the work. If somebody has an issue or whatever, there's somebody to talk to, there's somebody
Just talk with the person, yeah.
and everything. And they probably also have to know that while you are talking to that person actually represents you.
Yeah.
It's what the person is saying.
You know, some people, they don't hear my voice, they'll not buy it. If they call, they say, is that Vicky? No, somebody just hang up.
Well, I guess maybe this is a forum for you to also tell them that if you call, it's not my voice.
You know, there's a saying that they say, you are not El Shaddai. If you try to be El Shaddai, you shall die. So if I try to do everything in Vicky's cakes, I can assure you I may die before the time appointed for me to die.
Yeah. It's not for nothing that you are getting as many clients as you are getting, is because the work that you are doing is exceptional. And you cannot talk to everybody at the same time. So you have to put down those processes. Anyways, any last words for those watching? What
I want to say to the future brides, 2024 brides, is this is August. It's not too early for you to start booking your wedding cake. It's not too early. And then to the bakers that are doing well, congratulations, keep doing well. To those who are starting, don't get discouraged. You will make mistakes. There will be days when people are not satisfied. Learn from your mistakes. Do as many trainings as you can. Build your craft, and then do your best to retain your clients. And above all, you have to put God, if you're a Christian, you have to put God before you. When I opened Vicky's Cakes, I was trying to do the business by my own strength. And it was so heavy for me. I was sick like every month. Like my doctor was waiting every month. I must come. You see me, Madame Atabu's revenue, because the stress, it was just too much. And I started becoming, I have my friend who is a baker who started developing anxiety issues because of this business. I'm serious. It's more than just what people see. There's the emotional part of it. There is the clients talking, criticizing you. There's sort of the good side, but to be honest, for you to succeed in this business, you need to be very strong spiritually. You need to wake up in the morning before you even touch your first cake. You have prayed and you charge your spirit. And sometimes even, just because you prayed, it would advert you for some trouble. Because I'll tell you something, if you're a baker, you cannot, at my level, you cannot see everything that's happening in your business. And cakes are very easy to make and very complicated to make. They're very simple rules. For example, you can use the right recipe, put everything right. If you overmix the cake, you spoil it. So if you leave the cake on the mixer is just turning and turning and turning, it spoils the cake. And you, as a business owner, you may not see it. Recently we did the wedding, and on the day when we're doing the wedding, because I'm not the one who trims cake. I'm not the one who even covers cake. The person that was trimming the cake, I just came, I saw the cake. This cake was overmixed. I pinched it, overmixed. We had to trash all that wedding cake and redo a new one. Now, if I had not seen that thing, my workers, he never even noticed that there was a problem with the cake. He would have given that cake, and then it's at the wedding that you discover there's a problem with the cake. So sometimes your prayers will just even open your eyes to see certain things that will put you into trouble. So what I want to say to the baker out there is, learn, take trainings, but above all, put God in front of your business.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one last thing, because you have heard a lot of struggle and a lot of struggle. So what has been like your best moments throughout your career doing cakes? What has been like that moment that you really saw and you were like, this is why I'm doing this?
My best moment is every day. It's every time somebody writes me and say, oh, thank you so much. I loved my cake. My child was happy. That's my best moment. And it's almost every day because we do cakes nearly every day. And nearly every day we have somebody that says, thank you. I loved what you made for me. Yes. So I don't really have a best moment. Every client will be special. And every time I have a positive review, it's special to me.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Just to leave, maybe you give us your, I don't know, your handles, your number, where to get.
Okay. So my Facebook is Vicky's Cakes, Instagram Vicky's Cakes, Vkee, TikTok Vicky's Cakes. The Vkee is VKEE''S then Cakes. Our number is 670 24 14 20. One Yaoundé Bima Silak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yes, I think we had a very fruitful discussion, and I'm sure it is going to be also very fruitful to a lot of people who are out there who really need this information and are not really getting on a daily basis. So, thank you very much. And
Thank you.
Yeah.